Thaddeus Blatmasters.
Oh, no.
Coach of the Cambridge Carnations, professor doctor at Harvard University, father of Vespa Blatmasters, is stewing in his home office.
Stewing.
Come on, Dad, game is in an hour, he hears from upstairs. Yes, Vespa, be right up. He's angry, and he's been angry for a week. Scientific advancement was pulled from his grasp by Darby O'Darcy, who stopped him from capturing and studying alien technology. And yes, the Carnations beat the Sunflowers that game, but that was hardly a degree of revenge. He felt like a loser. He hasn't been sleeping. He's been looking at his notes on old projects, looking for inspiration from his past work. The magnetic accelerator was good, but years away. Plasma suspension would be in violation of half a dozen international laws. The kudzu virus, though. The kudzu virus was good. He just couldn't get the software stable enough. It was uncontrollable. But if he ever got it to work, though, it would change modern warfare. He had his thumb drive in his computer and was pouring through the old code. Dad, time marches ever onward. Fine, coming. He turns off his monitor and walks upstairs. But the light on the thumb drive starts flashing. Week 2 of the regular season, Somerville Sunflowers visiting the Waltham Windflowers at the Watchtower. How is the game going? Morgan, roll 2d6 plus sharp and let us know.
All right, that's a 4.
Okay. Windflowers are an exceptionally good team, and they're playing at home. That's the trick. Is their home field advantage is kind of unlike any other because of the way the Watchtower is built. It's built on the entire ballpark is built on the top floor of an old clock factory, and it's covered in a giant Faraday cage. And Morgan, that plays havoc on your senses because you're in essentially a giant electrified bird cage. And
Faraday cage.
Yeah, but it's there for a reason. It really is. But yeah, it's affecting your control. Your pinpoint control is a little off. And so you've given up a lot of runs. However, I want one of you, whichever one of you is feeling lucky, to give me 2d6 plus tough.
That's me. 9. Pretty tough.
It's pretty tough.
It's pretty tough. It's pretty tough.
The top of the 9th inning now. And due in no small part to Darby getting a hit in every at bat, this score is tied 3 apiece.
Apiece?
Yep, 3 each. Sunflowers scored 3. Windflowers scored 3. And because you're the away team, you're all batting in the top of the 9th. The Windflowers pitcher is someone named Whistler Dane. Someone give me a sentence on Whistler Dane.
Well, he whistles the whole time he's pitching. And they're like these like they're cheerful. Which is weird.
Except when they pitch, because it sounds like a bomb dropping. And every time it goes in, and just sometimes it's just boom, baby.
Yeah,
that's why they call him Whistler because of all the whistling. That's how he got the nickname. Plus, he needed a nickname because his first name is also Dane. So his real name is just Dane.
Dane Whistler Dane. Yeah, Whistler's Dane squared, Dane Whistler Dane. His skill on the mound is enhanced by the strange control of acoustics he has. All like it's almost like a magic trick, but Morgan, for the life of you, you're not sure what kind of magic he's using. The trick, though, and the reason why the score is so close is because the umpire calling this game is being a little stingy with strikes. So there's a lot of base runners, which is causing you and Dane Whistler Dane to kind of work hard through every half inning. The umpire is someone named Umpire Lee.
Oh my God!
Yeah, one sentence on what Umpire Lee sounds like. I would ask what Umpire Lee looks like, but you can't tell because she's, like all umpires, encased in a giant suit of nuclear-powered armor.
I have 2 words on how she sounds like. Rolling thunder.
Yeah, she wears like this mask that like it's almost like it robotically changes it, and it's like at the right frequency just to scare the pants off of children. Like it just every time it's a rumbling of your chest.
You feel like it kind of shakes your rib cage when you hear
bone
it.
acoustics.
Whistler Dane is currently batting to the bottom of the lineup, and Salamander Scoot just guesses wrong on a pitch and strikes out.
Scoot,
it's okay, Scoot.
It's all right, Scoot.
Okay.
Guys, next time, Scoot.
We've all been there.
You got it next
All right.
time.
Thanks, everybody. Okay, bottom of the 9th. Morgan, you gotta hold him. And Coach Martinez jogs up to you, Morgan, as the rest of.
Oh, I'm also there too.
Yeah, and you're there as well because this is a conference. And Coach Martinez looks at you, Morgan. Morgan, you're pitching a great game.
I haven't gotten a single ball across the mound just like I wanted it to. Zlobs, I'm so sorry.
It's fine. We're so tired. You're doing a great game so far.
Great game. That umpire isn't giving us a lot of work with here. So you are making lemonade out of lemons.
That's a very good human phrase. That's very good, coach. Very good,
Thank
coach.
you. It was orange aid out of oranges.
Oh, that's novel. I like that one.
All right, Coach Zlobs and everybody. We will win this game. I'm gonna hold them. I know I will.
I believe in you.
All right.
Oh, we had the best part of our lineup coming up, and if we make it to 10th innings, that'd be great.
All right. I'm proud of all of you.
We're proud of you too, Coach.
Thank you,
Coach. Go past the max.
Go Packs the Max. I do my grenade toss with the Blaseball to Morgan. Boom, baby, let's win this one.
And Jess, who your first baseman's tank pops a wheelie and then tips over. I'm all right.
Okay, Jess.
It's funny every time.
First batter, Charlotte Yeager. Up and down.
Hey, Charlotte, nice bird.
Thank you.
I make eyes at the bird.
Which distracts Charlotte. Morgan strikes her out on 4 pitches.
Good pitching, Morgan.
Thanks, Zlobs.
I felt that from over here, Mindy. Nice.
Second batter falls much the same way. Morgan, you've sunk into a groove now. You are focused on nothing but Zlobs' signs, Zlobs' glove, and how you're feeling in this moment. You want to give the rest of the sunflowers a gift, and you are. Bottom of the 9th, 2 outs, tie score. Susie Chen steps into the batter's box.
Good afternoon, Susie.
I hide in my glove.
Susie steps out of the batter's box and waits.
Mindy.
What?
Mindy.
What?
She thrives on the fear. You just gotta pretend.
But I am afraid.
But she doesn't have to know that.
She steps back into the batter's box, and much like the Blaseball players of old, calls are shot.
Oh, left field, a very good choice.
She settles it on left, and then looks at you, Zlobs, and smiles.
Good
And
enough.
then moves the bat and points right at Mindy.
I am going to send a message to her head.
What's that message say?
I am not afraid.
You have no problem sending the message. The big trick is whether or not she believes it. Give me 2d6 plus cool.
Cool? Oh, God. 6. I'm so afraid.
She makes eye contact with you and mouths the words, "I'll bet."
All right,
Morgan?
Susie. Good luck. Morgan's throwing fire.
Please, Morgan.
I take off my hat, and I give Zlobs the look that I've never given before.
Okay.
And it's the same look. It's the same look that I give sometimes when we're fighting crime. And I'm going to throw an electric blaseball straight to the catcher's mitt.
All right. Give me 2d6 plus weird.
11.
She gets a hold. She gets a hold of it. She swings. Bat contacts ball. Susie Chen's bat explodes. Umpire Lee steps back. Foul ball. Susie Chen is trying to hide the fact that her hands are throbbing right now. Someone give me a damn bat. And a bat is tossed in from.
She said, damn. Darby.
Yeah, you don't have to swear.
Did you hear her say damn?
I heard her say it. It's got to be bad luck.
Yeah, Susie, if anything, is composed and not prone to that kind of profanity. She looks at you, Zlobs.
Hey.
Sorry.
What? You never said sorry. What?
Well, I've never cursed. I don't want to despoil the game with insults and profanity.
Okay, well, you do have some good sportsmanship. All right, okay. I call for another. I call for another strike.
Roll it, Morgan.
I throw another electric blaseball. 9.
Another foul. This one though doesn't break the bat. Got the timing now. No problem.
I'm going to throw an electric blaseball at her. Right at her face.
Oh.
Roll it.
That is a natural 12.
She dives out of the way. Mindy.
No.
Susie Chen's afraid.
I scrambled to get the ball. Did the runner go to first?
Mm-mm. Susie Chen gets up, rubs some dirt in her hands, and picks up the bat.
Morgan!
Mindy.
She's afraid.
I'm going to throw a regular blaseball.
Before you do, we're going to cut over to what Umpire Lee is looking at right now.
Uh-oh.
The heads-up display within her helmet, the ball strike calculator, the threat assessment meter, All of this just constantly feeding information. The electric baseballs you're throwing, Morgan, has changed the threat assessment data on you as a pitcher. There's also the news feed from UmpWeb, which connects all of the umpires that are currently calling games right now. All stuff that Umpire Lee has seen every game for as many games as she's called. And then a message pops up in the middle of the screen. System update, kudzu. And then an Umpire Lee's earpiece in the helmet. Umpire Lee, this is Umpire Singh. Umpire Lee, this is Umpire Singh. Lee, come in. What's kudzu? I'm seeing kudzu on my display. Followed by umpires, this is all hands umpires. This is Sunman here. I'm losing hydraulics in my armor. What is this? This is Umpire Haddad at Switchyard 1. Can anyone hear me? What is kudzu? What is kudzu? In Umpire Lee's heads-up display, we see kudzu target reacquisition, ... Enjoy the show. Umpire Lee quickly waves her hands, the big armored hands, and steps back, calling a timeout, Morgan, as you're holding an electric baseball in your hand. Then Umpire Lee starts smacking her helmet with her big metal fist, kind of trying to punch it off. She's trying to break one of the pressure seals. And she's staggering backwards and trying to twist and rend the helmet off of her head.
What?
And then she suddenly stops. Lee, in her power armor, stands up, twists over to the pile of splorting equipment on the Windflowers foul line, aims her wrist-mounted flamethrower at it, and blows it all up. It's Jess Who on first base that sees it. Everybody, we got a rogue umpire!
What?
Rogue
What?
umpire!
Oh no! I see Susie being aimed at next. I push her out of the way.
Zlobs!
You do. Zlobs, 2d6 plus cool.
Oh, thank goodness. 13.
Neither of you are hurt. Zlobs, you get up, throw your glove to the ground, kind of wrap Susie Chen up, and for a second she's like, "What are you doing?"
Saving her life!
And boom, you roll out of the way before a heat-seeking missile pops up from Umpire Lee's shoulder-mounted launcher and blows up home plate.
What?
I sit down right where I am and I see if I can tune into Umpire Lee's mind.
Absolutely. 2d6 plus weird.
10.
Okay. Mindy, I will allow you to ask questions from either the investigate a mystery or read a bad situation list.
Ooh. Okay. Investigate a mystery or read a bad situation.
Either one. This is kind of a bit of both.
Yes. Okay. What here is not what it seems.
Umpire Lee is not in control over what her power armor is doing.
Yes. Okay. What's the biggest threat?
The biggest threat is the power armor. The biggest threat is what's controlling the power armor. That is a malign entity, whatever it is. You think it's technology.
Okay. And what's the most vulnerable to me?
The most vulnerable thing to you is probably Umpire Lee's mind.
Excellent. Well, okay, that's all news that I'm going to share with my team. And since this is an emergency situation, I don't want to take too much time. But while I am in here, are there any secrets that I happen to see?
Yes. Give me 2d6 plus weird. 10 or plus is great news. 7 to 9 is okay news. 6 or less is terrible news about the world.
Oops, sorry, everybody. Thought I was going to get to keep my 10. Uh-oh. Okay. Plus weird is 8.
Okay.
You're so... You're always scaring us when you do that. Stop saying, uh-oh.
I don't realize how weird I am when I first roll. I just see the low numbers.
So, I mean, the thing that you are noticing is the absolute panic in here. Umpire Lee is not in control of this situation. She is, because she's not controlling her power armor herself, she's in essentially like a giant sarcophagus.
Oh, that sounds scary.
And then beyond that, her immediate thought was, is Sunman doing this? Before she realizes that she just heard Sunman call for help himself. And so what that secret is that for whatever reason, the other umpires are suspicious or potentially acting against Umpire Sunman. So the person that for some odd reason hates Zlobs and wants him dead is also making a lot of enemies in the umpire community as well.
Ooh, that's a good one. Okay, then I tell my teammates about the emergency.
I pull the emergency cord to distract. Ha!
So that the emergency cord, which pulls a bunch of pins on all the grenades.
Oh yeah,
that's going to be a heck of a distraction.
I'm going to dump and run, baby.
Yep. So you pull a bunch. You pull the cord that yanks all the pins on your grenades. Drop the grenades at Umpire Lee's feet, and hauls off. The whole rest of the infield and the Windflowers, the Sunflowers, everybody is backing up to behind second base into essentially a cluster. Great big explosion, giant chunks of turf and the pitching rubber arcs through the air, clods of grass. The explosion is big enough that it sends a bunch of debris up high enough to hit the Faraday cage. And so there's this cascading explosion of lightning and shock, and everyone's hair kind of tingles for a moment.
As all the debris is coming down, I start running toward Umpire Lee and yell, "Clyde, with me!"
Awesome. Let me tell you how all of this is going to work, because at this point we are doing battle.
Yes.
Here are the 3 things I'm going to tell you. 1, if this rogue umpire escapes this field, bad time. 2, if the rogue umpire's nuclear battery is ruptured, bad time. And 3, if you want to destroy this suit, it's going to take 20 harm.
Oh my goodness.
That's a lot of harm.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So I'm gonna run to the Faraday cage.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to, I know what this is going to do to me. I'm going to overload it with electricity so that it itself becomes overloaded with electricity and messes with the circuits, because I know how the Faraday cage messes with me. I want to overload it to mess with her electronics.
Got it. So Morgan, so Darby, you take a look and Morgan starts sprinting towards the power box for the Faraday cage. And you're like, okay, we got to charge. So Darby, you start sprinting forward, and Clyde Whistle, your friend, but opposing player on the Windflowers, center fielder with the jetpack, In this, you realize that all game, Clyde's looking rough, tired, weathered. But Clyde, with me, and he kind of squares up and nods, and the jetpack starts firing up. I'm on you, Darby. What do you need?
We are taking this Umpire into the sky, and I need to know, you get this technology stuff. How do we get it off of her without killing her?
Okay, I'll figure it out once we're up there.
Okay.
Go. All right. So Darby, this is going to be, I'm going to say this is a kick some butt roll.
Six.
Okay. The nuclear battery has 3 strikes. That was strike 1. So, brass wings extend. Clyde whistles kind of like the two of you are sprinting. And just as your feet kind of start leaving the ground into a glide, his feet leave. And you both kind of grab and you both kind of reach out and try to grab Umpire Lee's kind of armor. And between both of kind of your thrust, you think you'll be able to lift him. Unfortunately, Umpire Lee turns, and in a moment with a rocket-assisted iron fist, punches Clyde Lee so hard it buries him in the ground about a foot. That throws off the trajectory, and you kind of arc upwards. And as you do, the razor-sharp edge of your brass wings slice into like the giant armored housing of the nuclear core.
Oh, that's not good.
In Umpire Lee's helmet, the heads-up display, literally she's just seeing like everything. All of you, all of the Blittle Leaguers are just like pulsing red kill targets. But then there's breach nuclear battery sealing now. And she's just in there watching all of this. Morgan, you're running to the Faraday cage's power controller, and you want to overload this thing. All right. How do you want to do it?
Is there like a knob to turn to overload it?
There is.
I'd like to turn the knob.
You do. I mean, the knob's obviously protected by, like a padlocked box and stuff. That's no problem. You run electricity into the padlock that it explodes. And then you turn the knob up all the way. Why don't you give me 2d6 plus cool?
9.
All right, not bad. I will put it to you this way. This is going to do damage to the suit. For every 1 harm you take upon yourself, 2 harm will be done to the suit.
Okay.
Up to a total of 3 harm. Like if you go past 3 into unstable, you would pass out essentially. So you could do up to 6 damage to the suit and 3 to yourself.
Can I decide that now? Yes,
you can.
3.
All right. So you run up, you melt the lock on this thing, you turn the power all the way up, and all of a sudden, like, there is just the hum of as much power as could possibly go through the Faraday cage going through the Faraday cage. Your hand on this thing begins to heat up, and it's just immediate fierce electrical burns, and you end up kind of bubbling yourself from some of it before it causes your eyes to explode. But it's enough that you kind of step back and just everything hurts and you're delirious. In that moment, Umpire Lee has taken her right hand, and essentially a Gatling gun forms around it from the plates, and she's just sweeping the outfield with minigun fire.
No, Clyde Whistle. I go to protect Clyde Whistle, and try to bring him out of danger and lead a tactical retreat. Okay,
so why don't you, Zlobs, roll give me 2d6 plus. Actually, yeah, give me 2d6 plus tough on this one because this is okay. So Clyde Whistle is trying to be like pulled out of the ground like a carrot by fellow outfielder Susie Chen. And so Susie Chen's like, come on. And there's just tracer fire from the Gatling gun just approaching Clyde and Susie. Zlobs, you're bounding over and you dive and you essentially just get big. You take 3 harm worth of minigun shots into your back.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah. Like you hear it. It's a Midwestern hailstorm against a tin roof. But everyone hurts your spine. And eventually the tracer fire goes elsewhere. Zlobs, you all of you kind of look around to get a sense of what everybody is doing at this moment. You see, remarkably, Fox Amberflaw has somehow created a giant wall of ice that is protecting her and the entire Windflowers infield. Jorts Grundle, your backup second baseman, is doing his absolute best to rip up one of the benches to use it like a giant hammer. And Lisa Lemonwedge, you don't know why she has a bolt action rifle, but she is currently loading bullets into it.
Lisa.
Someone give me cover. I think I could crack the faceplate. And as she says that, Whistler Dane runs forward and starts buffeting Umpire Lee with sound. And then, Lisa Lemonwedge gets a pretty good shot off between the eyes. Anyway, what's everybody want to do? Currently, Umpire Lee is at 14 harm left on the suit.
Okay, so when I see Zlobs get hurt a lot like that, it tends to make me kind of lose it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And my eyes just go absolutely purple and I just fall over where I'm standing and I try to mental storm inside the suit.
Got it.
I don't know if it's going to hit Umpire Lee or if I can aim at something else going on in there, but I have lost control.
Well, the dice is going to the dice will tell us.
Oh, good.
2d6 plus weird, please.
Yes, 12.
Okay. Umpire Lee is watching as ammo counters are spinning, as threat assessments are changing. What does Umpire Lee see when you unleash this mental storm at her?
I imagine it looks sort of like the inside of a tornado, but maybe darker, almost like inside black.
Yeah, gotcha.
That's what I see anyways.
Umpire Lee sees it very, very similarly.
Oh, good.
All of a sudden, Umpire Lee is not trapped in her battle armor. She is standing in the middle of an obstacle course as a new umpire recruit in Chincoteague, Virginia. And a storm's coming.
Oh.
She's about halfway up a rope. She knows she has to climb. And she's climbing up the rope to the big cross beam when all of a sudden the sky darkens, and rolling over the horizon is a giant purple tornado. And she's halfway up the rope, and she doesn't know if she's supposed to climb up or down. It doesn't make any sense. Neither option is safe. And so she just grips onto the rope and closes her eyes and prays when the tornado hits her. When it does, she's back in the suit. And she screams very loudly, "Lee, override auxiliary ammo discharge." And all of you at that moment see the flamethrower on her left arm explode.
Oh. Okay.
She is now down to 11 harm. Who's going next?
I assume that I turned the knob. It hurt. It hurt. But do I notice if it had any effect?
Yes. You turn the knob and you back up, and for like 5 or 6 seconds, you afford yourself the selfishness of making sure you're not dead. And you look up and you see the Faraday, like the top of the Faraday cage is crackling with energy. And in rapid succession, there are 3 quick lightning strikes that hit the back of Umpire Lee's suit and kind of throws her to the ground for a minute before chest thrusters right her.
All right.
She, at that point, the Gatling gun stops firing for a second. And all of a sudden, she seems to be moving a lot slower. You're pretty sure you knocked out a lot of the control circuits with that one.
All right, so then I'm going to grab the bars of the Faraday cage in this control room, and I'm going to give it all she's got.
All right, going to give it more gas. Give me 2d6 plus weird.
10.
All right. The good news is that through a combination of skill and your emotional center and your love of your teammates, you are able to sheathe yourself against this and pour as much energy as you can into the Faraday cage, which causes another lightning strike. Causes the rocket pod on Umpire Lee's shoulder to explode. Umpire Lee down to 9 harm in the suit. Who's going next?
I'm going old school for Darby. I'm going to pull out my sword and just run right at her and take a slice of that suit.
Yep. You start running. Hey, chat. Aside from Susie Chen, who is the most physically menacing presence on the Windflowers?
Is this a new character?
Yep. So if Susie Chen needed, did I say Windflowers? I meant sunflower. Windflowers.
Rodrigo
Laserbeam.
Chunk Hargraves though. Oh,
Chunk Hargraves.
Both good.
Gunter Van Gunting.
Oh,
oh my goodness.
Yeah, they're all great.
Yep.
Mankini Grundle. Joy's brother.
Yep. Oh my God. Yep. Yep. Yeah. This is all perfect. Rodrigo Laserbeam saunters up to you, Darby. Charging, huh?
Yeah, that's what I do best. Besides flying.
I'm charging too. He unlimbers from his back his bat and peels the wooden sheath off to reveal a laser rifle the power core of which is starting to charge. Darby, my friend, I'll give you cover. Go, 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 go.
Rodrigo.
That's so cute.
2d6 to kick some butt, +1 because Rodrigo is putting down remarkable cover.
7.
All right. He's just putting down fire that's kind of peppering the front armor of Umpire Lee, and you go in with a great big heavy swing. You're going to do your damage, and Umpire Lee is going to do hers. Your choice. Is it going to be 3 damage to you or 1 damage to Rodrigo?
3 to me.
Umpire Lee is unable to get into a defensive stance by the time you charge in with the sword. So the best thing that Umpire Lee can do is discharge the Gatling gun from off of her arm and pull out the chain sword. And so it's now flaming sword versus chain sword in this big, heavy battle back and forth in the infield. Eventually, you're able to parry it up. And what's it look like when you actually hit Umpire Lee?
So when I hit, the flames go from red to just blue to then it's almost like for a second there aren't any flames at all right upon impact. But Umpire Lee and anyone who's hit by the sword can feel the wave of heat just radiating right off of the sword through them until I pass through him again, and then it lights up again. So it's almost like the flame itself gets knocked into them.
That's right. Like this thing is essentially a conduit for holy energy. Mm-hmm. And so you kind of bring the thing down and this energy suffuses into the armor plates protecting Umpire Lee's whole front. And an inch of it kind of melts off like you're watching the front of a glacier peel. And, you kind of spin around for another slice when Umpire Lee kind of responds with the chain sword, and it buries itself kind of behind your leg. And you realize that if you try to stand, you'll fall. So now you just have to fly. And so now you're just kind of banking through the air because you're unable to stand on your leg anymore. Who's going next?
There are explosions. There's a lot of fire, a lot of danger, gunshots, lightning bolts. I have a couple of flashes of youth flash before Zlobs' eyes from Chincoteague, Virginia.
Yep.
Zlobs reaches under his hat and pulls out the good grenade, the thermite grenade. And I charge and I place it manually inside a piece of the armor that I can.
Kick some butt, please.
4.
Strike 2 on the nuclear battery. In Umpire Lee's heads-up display, nuclear battery breach, containment failure, auxiliary sealant, ... failure, auxiliary sealant, ... failure, evacuate suit. Umpire Lee, of course, cannot evacuate the suit. You run up and kind of dive on Umpire Lee, and you have the thermite grenade, and you kind of twist the timer all the way down from 5 minutes to 5 seconds. And Umpire Lee in the suit, and here's the thing, a human does not move like this. This isn't Umpire Lee trying to twist you off. This is the suit itself moving and jerking at strange angles. And so you're kind of tossed and bucked backwards, and you're holding on to like a flare out of the armor around the neck and just kind of jam the thermite into whatever it sticks into. Only when you are knocked backwards, by the way, you take 3 more damage. Do you roll back and realize it's sticking onto the part of the armor that has the giant radioactive symbol on it.
Uh-oh.
And the thermite burns at 2,000 degrees,
Oh.
and you see a puff of static. And that weird smell of emergency sealant, which Zlobs, you know remarkably well what that smells like. Who's next?
Okay. So from what I can tell from the last mental storm, I'm still just lying in the middle of the field, by the way.
Yep.
Just here I am on the ground. But from what I learned of the last mental storm, it seems like the decision-making part of Umpire Lee's mind, is being tucked away in vulnerable memories. So if I can dig deeper and find another and mental storm her out of there again, then maybe she can shut down something else like she did last time.
Do it again.
Okay, 12.
She's sitting in the commissary at the Chincoteague, Virginia Umpire's training facility at a table by herself, watching a young, handsome guy named Sunman talk to a young woman with an easy laugh. And Lee reminds herself that she's here to learn a skill. She's here to do good in the world, not here to meet anybody. But when she hears that woman laugh, that other woman's not an umpire. She just works here. And you see it through her eyes. You got a 12?
Storm.
That woman has Zlobs' eyes. Snap back. And then you hear Umpire Lee, auxiliary power shut down, lose leg hydraulics, legs hydraulics abandoned. And you see the suit of power armor take 2 steps forward, and then like jets of hydraulic fluid start shooting out of the knee joints. 3 harm left on the suit.
All right.
Morgan.
I've as much as I've been pushing, it's been as much as I have ever done, and to stay healthy, but that's no longer going to be the case.
Okay.
And that's 2d6 plus weird.
Yes, please.
That's 5.
All right. Morgan, you start climbing the cage, hand over hand. If this was anyone else, they would be electrocuted. As the Faraday cage starts to bend, you're no longer even using your feet. You're just going hand over hand. At the very, very top, you can't believe you've climbed so fast so quickly. You're able to pull a pneumatic lever that pops this hatch, and you climb up on top of the cage. You see all of Waltham from here. Beautiful town. And you slam the cage again and then kneel on it and put your hands on it and run an absolutely ludicrous amount of electrical energy through it. It creates a thunderstorm that begins striking the closest thing to a large metal object in here, which would of course be a suit of power armor. Multiple lightning strikes hit it. You're looking, and then you realize your field of vision is getting narrower and narrower, And the last thing you remember before you pass out is, I hope that's enough. Then the Faraday cage just lets off into a great big lightning storm. On the ground, things are desperate. The power armored suits lost its Gatling gun, lost its rocket pod. The flamethrower exploded, and the thing's not moving anymore. Which means at this point, there is Umpire Lee is literally discharging nuclear power through her repulsor jets and thrusters. She's essentially now a giant radioactive flamethrower. It's chewing up the infield and blowing chunks out of everything. Susie Chen is looking at all of this. She's looking at Zlobs, who in his back has half a dozen bullets that would have ended up in her if he didn't dive in front. And she's looks down at her bat, which she broke against the back of Umpire Lee. And then she sees the closest player to Umpire Lee, who is now, again, an immobile fountain of radioactivity. And it is Mindy Mathers lying stock still on the ground. Susie Chen thinks about it for a second, pops a stick of gum into her mouth, and sprints into the infield. Darby, you're watching it from the sky. Susie Chen is running in to evacuate Mindy before Mindy is microwaved to death. Mindy, how about you roll for this?
Jesus.
2d6 plus tough.
Tough?
But it's Susie Chen's tough.
Oh, thank God.
Which is plus 2.
Oh, great. That's so many more than my tough. Susie Chen rolled a 10.
Susie Chen rolled a 10. Darby, you see Susie kind of run in, grab Mindy, throw her over her shoulder, and just start sprinting towards the outfield as Rodrigo is just like firing laser rifle shots into Umpire Lee's suit. Who is next?
I am going to fly up. I saw Morgan climbing, and I don't know what happened next after the storm, but I'm going to fly up there and get her.
Yeah, you fly up, and she is... Oh, that's not good. She's unconscious up there. And you think for a second, well, crap, how do I get through it? The whole thing's electrified, until you realize, no, it's not. Morgan blew out the Faraday cage. So you're able to fly up, kind of open up the emergency hatch, and grab Morgan, who is... Oh, Morgan's hurt. Morgan is hurt. But you kind of fly out and are able to fly her on the outside of the Faraday cage.
Okay.
Zlobs?
Yeah.
I think you're next. What do you want to do?
I see Kit Schmidt by our dugout and by my bag. And I ask her, Kit, pitch me one of my grenades.
Oh, no.
Which one?
The good one.
The one that says the good one on it?
Yeah, the one in Sharpie that has a sticky note that says the good one on it.
You got it. She stands up, flips up the collar on her leather jacket, gets into a pitching stance, and delivers a strike to the catcher. You've got the good one, Zlobs. What do you want to do with it?
Oh, I placed the good one, applying it directly to the forehead.
There you go. All right. Give me a kick some butt roll.
Great. That is a 7.
Okay. You run up and kind of slam this thing directly into the exposed circuits on the helmet. And yeah, this thing has everything. This thing's magnetic. This thing has a plasma burn on it. It has a digital fuse. This is great.
I don't get many of these.
No, you don't. And so you slap it on there. You wait for the magnet to take hold. And you're like, all right, magnet took hold. And then you take your hand down and it falls off. And oh, no, the magnet's not working. So you slap it on there and you got to hold it.
I hold it. I hold on tight.
And the infield is consumed with a plasma fire. Zlobs, you take 4 harm.
That's it? Great. Thank God for this armor. All right, I'm just below the line. I have 3 harm left.
Yep. The smoke clears. Darby, you land Morgan behind the giant frost wall that Fox Amberflaw built.
I take my hands and just get some of the cold ice water and then just start patting Morgan's face.
Yeah.
Trying to wake her up.
Mindy, you at this point snap out of the psychic focus you're in to see of all people Susie Chen sitting next to you, arm around you, making sure you don't go into shock.
Susie, I thought you were gonna beat my ass, but you saved my ass.
What would be the point of beating anything? You sunflowers are made of glass.
I look over at Umpire Lee and I see that the suit is destroyed, but I think if I'm careful, if I dive in to the last memory that Lee is inside of, that I could probably hold her hand back to her body now.
Yeah, you get up. You're a little unsteady on your feet, but you kind of walk around the ice barrier. You see Zlobs. Zlobs should not be alive, but he is sitting there. You don't know how he has a cup of that alien goo. How did he get that goo? But he's drinking it.
Okay. I'll leave that alone for now.
Zlobs is taking care of Zlobs. And yeah, you walk up to the half radioactive crater that Umpire Lee is lying in the middle of, and you kind of put a hand on her head. 2d6 plus wits.
Plus what?
2d6 plus weird.
10.
Umpire Lee got up this morning, confirmed that her assignment was in Waltham. Windflowers, sunflowers. Well, sunflowers are pretty good. Never win a game, but they're pretty good. Sunny side up egg, puts it on an English muffin, wraps it up in aluminum foil. Goes down the elevator to the armored garage where her power armor is. Thinking about the fact that at the end of the season, they're finally going to have that vote on what to do about Sunman. Opens up the rear hatch of the power armor, gets in, seals it up, system checks. And then she takes off like a shot towards Waltham. She's happy to call the game today. And then she wakes up and looks at you.
You're safe now.
without the voice amplification, it's just her voice. What about everyone else? The suit had a mind of its own.
I know. I think everybody's okay.
I waddle over and I give her some of the alien goo in my cup.
Zlobs has goo. Morgan has Darby. And I had Susie. So I think we're all covered.
Thanks, Zlobs. Thanks, Mindy. She gets up. You all have to help her. Like the suit's a chunk of rubble at this point. Morgan, you are being woken up by Coach Martinez and Darby, who at this point are kind of bandaging you all up.
Morgan, that was amazing. I did not know that anyone could climb like that. And then that storm that you made, that was terrifying. And so cool. You saved the day.
All right. Did anyone get hurt?
Nothing more than we can handle.
It was
Even
pretty
Umpire
cool.
Lee's okay. It was pretty cool. I mean, flying through that was terrifying, but it was also exhilarating because I've never like I try not to fly through storms, Morgan.
Yeah. It looks cool, but it's dangerous.
It's really dangerous, but that was so fun.
Also, I took down a Faraday cage.
You're incredible, Morgan.
Hey, Mindy.
Yeah. Zlobs.
Can you go in my mind and get rid of the concussion, please?
Yeah. Can I talk to you for a second?
Yeah. What's up?
Oh, bye, Susie.
Oh, bye, Susie.
Susie waves and then stands patiently in the batter's box.
Oh yeah, she's still at bat.
Oh, okay.
I need to go catch.
See you in a second, Susie.
I need to go catch Mindy.
Wait,
Mindy, I have
Zlobs.
to go. Mindy.
Hold on.
Mindy,
Yes.
I have to go catch.
Okay. Can I? Oh. Okay. Listen.
Yeah.
I'm not supposed to tell secrets.
Oh, what? Yeah. What? That's never stopped you before.
I'm not supposed to say them. I mean,
Oh.
I'm not supposed to tell them. I'll ask a question. Does your mom look like you?
Yeah.
Eyes wise, does she? Same sort of.
I take out my family picture I carry in my wallet that has my license on it. I don't know. I cannot see straight, Mindy. You tell me. It has a picture of me, my father, and my sister, and my mother.
Okay. Great. Okay, that's very nice family. Very nice mom. And that's your dad?
Yeah, that's Dad.
Are you sure?
Yeah, pretty sure.
Okay. See you later, Zlobs.
Okay. Well, no. What? Okay, give me back my pick. Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
sorry. I forgot
Gotta
about
catch the game.
I forgot
Gotta
about the
catch it.
concussion. Can I go inside Zlob's head and see if I can sort of mop up a bit?
Yeah, we don't even need to roll for that. I don't think you could break anything worse than it's been broken, even if you get a bad roll. So
Just kind of shine it up.
yeah, it's just a real quick, get carnauba wax on everything. It'll all buff right out.
That's a little better.
Yeah, thank you, Mindy. Okay, gotta catch the game. Gotta catch the ball. Gotta catch
Okay,
the ball.
enjoy your mom.
Rodrigo and a couple members of the Windflowers that are more mechanically inclined. Oh, actually, and technically also Bix Goolsby as well. peel Umpire Lee out of the power armored suit. And George Grundle drags it off the field. Coach Martinez and the coach of the Windflowers, that would be, I have it written down just in case people survived.
Oh, great. Thanks. Thanks for that. Yeah.
What?
Wow. Thanks, John.
Coach
Well
Little.
prepared. Coach Little.
Coach Little of the Windflowers. Talk it out. Neither coach wants to concede the game. That would seem hardly fair to concede after all they've been through. And so for the first time in however long, Umpire Lee stands behind the plate without the use of her power armor.
Oh.
The field is an absolute mess. There is, in fact, no pitcher's mound anymore. It's really a pitcher's crater, and it's highly radioactive.
Susie, Snoozy, do good.
She points the bat at you.
I'm going to look at Zlobs and kind of motion. It's going to be a fastball. Just a normal fastball.
2d6 plus sharp, Morgan.
It's an 11.
Yeah.
Game goes 2 more innings. Final score. Somerville Sunflowers 4, Waltham Windflowers 3. First win of the season. We'll call it right there.
Yeah!
Switchyard 1. The underground home of the Transit Trillium Little League team. Starting pitcher Pinball Parsons walks up to a umpire Haddad, who is buried beneath a pair of subway trains. Pinball Parsons looks at her hand and turns it into a metal spike and rips the helmet off of umpire Haddad. Kneels down. Rogue umpire, huh? No, it was the suit. The suit went nuts. And you want me to believe you, huh? We study rogue umpires down here, you know. Look at the suit. Pinball Parsons looks at the helmet and tosses it to the Transit Trillium's first baseman, who is a living computer. And the living computer just kind of absorbs it into their center mass. Thaddeus Blatmasters is an enemy of Blittle League.